Hello! What is Jesus doing with the Beaver-Butler Presbytery today? Over the next few minutes, I would like to share how our resources connect to our purpose, making a difference as Presbyterians. The Beaver-Butler Presbytery is a covenant community of churches that supports, nurtures, and grows disciples in the way of Christ. The Presbytery provides its ministry through your generous gifts of per capita and mission funding from its congregations. To illustrate how God is moving among us, we present our 2026 budget with more than just dollars and cents. We thank you for your continued support. Your congregation's contribution to per capita and mission giving demonstrates what a covenant community of churches can be in our lives together. Over the last year, we have sought to increase engagement among congregations in the Presbytery. Beaver-Butler's congregations are the focus of our mission. In May and July, the coordinating team spent intentional time during both Presbytery meetings listening to the good work that God is doing among us. With focused questions and group discussions, we identified spiritual gifts present in mission, worship, discipleship, and fellowship. We pondered ways that we share in Christ's love among the communities we serve, and we considered what was purposeful in each of our congregations.
First one I went to was in May, and I went because we were doing the collaboration report for our churches. And I have to admit, I was kind of doing one of those when I saw that they assigned me a group, and we're going to do a little breakout thing, and because I had no idea what was going on. And the first explanation, it helped me to understand kind of what you guys were looking for by having us in groups, talking about the different missions and the strengths and weaknesses that we had in the church. And I found it interesting that I thought our church at Clinton was one that was just out there floundering with 20-some people. And I find that not to be the case. There are many more that are small, like us in the Beaver-Butler Presbytery. So that's what I really got from the first one, like, oh, okay, well, we're not all alone. And then the second one, it was more delving into the kind of things, in my opinion, I felt like it was talking more about the things that those churches are doing, either on their own or with other community churches. And being on that collaboration committee now, I kind of feel like I'm more aware of what other churches are doing within the Presbytery or with other denominations. But there's other churches that they're doing great with 18, 20 people, they're having classes, they're doing back to school programs. And so it kind of gave me hope that the small churches like ours can still be active in the community. It was kind of nice to kind of be asked as a smaller church, because that's kind of like where I'm coming from. It was nice to be asked by the coordinating team, what do you think? What are your strengths? What do you guys struggle with? What don't you struggle with? Things like that.
From these conversations, we heard about the significant contributions of our smaller churches, that lay leadership is not only a new normal, but is developing and adapting to new ways of congregational ministry. That there is a rich diversity in the ways churches contribute in mission, in activities, and in connections to the communities we serve. We heard that there is strength in being together as what it means to be a faithful community. And we heard a commitment to the care of children, whether they are in church or not. Our leadership is deeply listening to those on the front lines of mission and ministry to partner and support our work together. In 2026, we will invest $124,813 to increase engagement in the local church and the Presbytery. We are working to strengthen relationships between congregations in a new and dramatically changing time of ministry. As Presbyterians, we do mission and ministry together. There are numerous opportunities to utilize our partners in Christ to support our collaborative efforts. Over the last 2 years, our collaboration, fellowship, and youth ministry unit have invited numerous conversations between churches. We encourage imagination with a grant for the new types of connections among 2 or more congregations in the Presbytery. Last spring, 6 congregations in the Saxonburg area collaborated in a workday project to help 4 local families with house repair projects.
The Saxonburg Area Presbyterian Collaborative started, I believe, in 2024, and really it just started out as a meeting to have some conversations about our churches. The 6 churches that were involved are Jefferson Center, Westminster, Clinton, Saxonburg Memorial, Glade Run, and Buffalo. And it really was just a conversation on what's working in your church, maybe what's not working in your church, what challenges are we facing, what are things we're proud of. And from that, it really just started these conversations and how we could take that information from each individual congregation and kind of expand that. And following up with that, we decided to do the service day event. We got 30 volunteers, approximately 30 volunteers for that day, and each one had their form, and then we had 6 different homeowners, which we then kind of compared. All right, this person is gifted in electrical, this person needs a switch that needs replaced, so the obvious thing was to pair those 2 together. And we kind of split it up that way, and so we had the ability to send 4 to 5 people to each location and do the work. And some of the things we did, some of it was landscaping, pulling weeds or trimming bushes or cleaning up trees. Some of it was even light construction, like putting a trailer skirting on or fixing a deck. I personally was pulling weeds and hanging curtains and fixing shutters. So whether it's a time issue or a physical ability issue, we were able to take people that wanted to help and put them in a position to help those that needed it.
We hope to continue building relationships to strengthen our work together through the vast resources that are already present in our churches. In 2026, we will invest $103,733 as we strengthen relationships among the congregations of the Presbytery. For a new time in the church, we are working to equip church leaders with a broad emphasis that many in the church help ministry thrive. In the wake of the traumatic act of political violence at the Butler Farm Show in 2024, our ministry reaches out in healing and care for our communities. The Mission and Compassion Ministry Unit has connected with Common Ground USA, working to create conversations of peace and resilience. In October, we are hosting an event that provides resources for conversation and relationship building amid a polarizing time. The Encouraging Churches to Flourish Ministry Unit was renamed Equipping Leaders. It aims to encourage faithful leaders to address the current needs of ministry in this new era. The annual leadership and administrative event focuses on training to share best practices in church ministry among all leaders in the church. The Finance Committee collaborated with Friendship Presbyterian Church to explore investment opportunities that could help grow the church's funds, ultimately achieving a significant impact in the future.
One evening at a session meeting, we made an arrangement, and the Finance Committee came to us, and it was really interesting because one of the first things they asked us was, what sort of goals does your congregation have or your session have? What sort of projects have you been wanting to do that you haven't had the funds to be able to do? And our session members were very excitedly talking about how we have youth in our church who are teens, and they go to camps and go to different mission projects, and we had been supporting that in part, but the thought of investing our money or having an account that could provide us with additional opportunities to be able to do more of that, or maybe even pay for the whole mission trip or visit for students, or even some of our congregation members, for them to be able to pursue opportunities that they might not be able to have done before. It was just really exciting for everybody. That's what I think right away, directly after the meeting, we took action within the week to, take some of the funds that we had been saving in a checking account, which wasn't really doing anything except keeping them safe. It wasn't, building any more equity than, just sitting there what it was. And transferred it to a different account. And so now, the money is not just sitting there waiting. It is, collecting additional funds that we can use to invest in projects that our congregation is interested in. And I feel like the finance committee members who came to speak to us, made it clear that this is just information. These are options for you. And I think at one point it was said, if you don't do any of this, that's up to you. That's your choice. But we want you to know about the options that are out there, because, you might have a chance to reach some of the goals that you have for your church that you couldn't have, if you kept on the same path. And also talked about moving forward in the future, even getting more information to see if we want to move into, even more of an investment. But it's just nice to have those options and be able to have those conversations, not only within the session itself, but also, with members of the congregation. And some of the people were very excited about the fact that we had found out this information, that we had the opportunity to hear from the finance committee, from the Presbytery, and we had the chance to take advantage of some of these things that can be a great benefit.
With the work and discernment of the Ministry and Vocation Committee, the Presbytery ordained the Reverend Carrie Dowdy to become a minister of Word and Sacrament, serving at the Friendship Presbyterian Church. With the MVC's help, ruling elder Tammy Hall completed her training to become a commissioned pastor, and we commissioned her to serve at First Presbyterian Church in Darlington and the Galilean Presbyterian Church in New Galilee. Our office remains a vital resource that connects church ministry. Our staff provides knowledgeable assistance with the myriad of church needs. From fellowship to finances, we've got you covered. Our professionally designed weekly e-newsletter provides news and information about what's happening around the presbytery. Along with the newsletter, the website provides resources and keeps us connected. The Resource Center is available for borrowing books, videos, reference materials, and topical Bible study guides. In 2026, we will invest $98,310 to grow disciples in the way of Christ among the Presbytery's congregations. Thank you for your faithful partnership as we work together to sustain and strengthen the ministry we share. We are grateful for your ministry and contributions as we move forward together in ministry. This year, while we will continue to offer guidance on the per capita rate, we are introducing a tiered approach. We hope that each congregation will reflect on this opportunity as a step in spiritual growth and discern how they might deepen their commitment to supporting the Presbytery's mission and ongoing needs. We also welcome the opportunity to speak with your session to discuss per capita and share how your church helps the work of many others. With your gifts, we intend to use $326,856 as a covenant community of churches that support, nurture, and grow disciples in the way of Christ. Please share this video with your congregation, perhaps during a Minute for Mission. Thank you.